So this is a wrap on WJRE. As a player that's only been around since Revision 5, I'm surprised at how much it just means to me to be a part of a project like this. Even though WJRE is coming to a close and we are now moving into WSE, I think it's important that we don't forget the past. Take a look back on all that we've built together. This revision in particular has been something that's been very close to my heart, as during the year of 2020, I think I can say it's safe to say it's been difficult on all of us. However, that doesn't mean there weren't some happy moments, and I'm quite happy to have been a part of this one. There was never a dull moment with this revision. Revision 7 has probably been, at least in my opinion, from what I've been around for, one of the best revisions of any of the Realms revisions. I'm very excited for WSE. During this rev, I learned how to build a successful shop in the modern shopping district. The modern shopping district presented quite the challenge for me, as I'm not very used to building modern structures. However, I'm quite satisfied with how well this one turned out. On top of that, it made a lot of money, so, I mean, who could be disappointed in that? I decided this rev that I would build an aquatic base after within the first hour I killed a trident drowned, narrowly avoiding death. And I picked up its trident, which I believe it has about a 3% or 0.3% of doing without looting, which I was very surprised when it did. It was at that point when I stumbled upon a coral reef and decided, hey, let's build an aquatic base. I'm very, very pleased with how this one turned out, and I was very excited to show this one off in the middle of building it and continuing to add on to it. I've built many a garden in this little base of mine, although little is not quite an accurate description. This base had at least three different gardens. You've got this one right here with the red autumn leaves. This one is completely submerged underwater. And you can see the water leaking out for the waterfall there. I was very, very pleased with how this one turned out. And then we also had the giant sunflower. This was one of the larger projects that I had adventured onto during this rev. It took quite a lot of gravel and sand to get the concrete for this. And of course, the cactus dye. That took some time, considering I didn't have a very good cactus farm. But I'm still very pleased with how this turned out. I do not regret venturing on that very long project at all. This was the first mega build of something that wasn't supposed to be a house that I'd ever ventured on. But I have to say that my personal favorite is this dish garden. This dish garden, or so I call it because it looks like a giant dish sticking up out of the water, it includes some vines, my personal favorite, bees, first time I'd ever handled them, a little campfire, and a nice spot under a savanna tree. It serves no purpose other than looking nice, and I gotta say, I think I pulled that one off all right. Aside from the dish garden, we had some actual farms, stuff that actually produced stuff, including the pig and cow farm, which took quite a long time to get cows out of a area that is mostly ocean. It's quite a long trip for me to bring those guys in here. Then we had the sugarcane farm. This one was quite a unique part of the structure. It definitely stands out from the exterior. The interior is all right. It's got plenty of sugarcane. We also had the pumpkin and melon farm. This one I pretty much did for fun. Have some cocoa beans, which I needed later. And of course, we have the chorus fruit farm. This one was very much fun to build and annoying at the same time. Those darn things don't grow very well. Well, on top of that, on top of that base, I built the Mamon's Creation. This massive temple had a giant underground maze similar to Tango Tech's Decked Out, just without so much complicated mess. This was what I spent most of my time during the rev on. Now, I decided not to get any clips as, I may run the event later on my own after it's finished just to show it off. And that is hard to get clips under those thin underground tunnels. But I'm very pleased with how this turned out. And a special thanks to Platform and PB Main for their very continued support during this. And also, thank you, Platform, for giving me those name tags when I desperately needed them. Very much appreciated. Well, that puts a wrap on things. And thank you all very much for giving us such a good rev. And I'll see y'all in WSE.